Across WWE Champions history, 9 years in the game, there have always been characters that people have said, this is the absolute best. And some of us have gone, but really? That's what's happening in this episode of the List 7. All right, I am here with Slim Numbers, and we are going to do a list of 7 characters that were always overhyped in the game. Slim, I've got 7 teed up that I've got, but that doesn't mean you can't have your own there. So I've got a few names. You might have some names. They might overlap a little bit. But tell me, who do you think? Don't give away your top one, but give me some thoughts on why certain characters are overhyped in this game.
So I think when it comes to overhyped characters, I think you've got to look at a couple of things. Do they do extraordinary amounts of damage in very specific kind of setups? Mm-hmm. Do they do extraordinary amount of damage in only certain game modes? Or do they look like they're going to be completely amazing for everything, and it turns out that they're just kind of not quite there? There's a bunch of different ways that you can look at cards and just be like, oh, this is too much, or not enough. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to be talking about.
All right, sounds good. Well, I've got a few on my side, so we do one of two things. Either I can just start sharing you the 7 I've thought of, or we can go back and forth. And if you've got some, and then if they're on my list, I'll just scratch them off and say, "Oh, that would have been mine." But number 7 for me actually has a very specific story, because I actually got overhyped on a character because of our friend Sorzoro and Benny Smaja Gaming. So I got Pat Patterson, technician, good ways after he had first come out. And Zorro and Benny started talking in the chat about how he was the absolute best tech in the game. So I went and watched their videos, and it was like, well, yeah, if you do these 7 very specific things, he can hit a ton of damage. But I don't have the brain that Zorro and Benny have. So it took me, I literally, one of my first videos that I did on this channel, I think I might have been official at that point, or I wasn't, I don't even know, was me taking, because I pulled him 6-star gold, it was me taking Pat Patterson tech from level 0 all the way to max 6-star silver, I think it was at the time. But either way, it cost 1 billion coins on one character, and I did it because of Zorro and Benny, and then never used the character after that. Like, he was just not my playstyle. I couldn't figure him out. Oh my gosh.
I remember that. The Pat Patterson was the best tech in the game for tours.
For tours, yes, that's right. Because you can't reload it, or you can't get him loaded without tour perks. That's what it was.
Yeah, for tours, he's one of the best techs in the game. He is one of those that can really be ramped up to do an amazing amount of damage. But boy, to get there, it's another where you have to stand on your head.
Yep.
Like, you just absolutely have to.
Yep, absolutely. So that's my number 7. My number 6, unless you got one to throw in now.
Not yet. Keep going.
Right. Number 6, I only heard rumors about this character, so this was beyond my era. This is more of a drop for Rusty on there, but I've heard stories that back in the day, Acro X-Pac was the poster to have. And by the time I got Acro X-Pac, now, not counting right now, where, since the Devil's Yeet came out, he's incredible again. But I was in that 5-year stretch where I had only heard people talk about how good it was to have Acro X-Pac. And when I got mine, I was like, this sucks. What is this? So my overhype might have just been because it was late to the game, but I don't know. Did you play when Acro X-Pac was good, or was this a fever dream that I made up?
It might have been a fever dream. I don't remember anybody talking about Acro X-Pac being amazing. So
Okay.
the only X-Pac I remember being like, "Oh, you've got to build this up," is 6
Oh
NWO
yeah.
X-Pac.
Well, because he
Uh,
countered Zombie Austin. That's why it was so
that's
important
it.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have him. Where's my on my roster? 6. I managed back in the day to get him up to 4-star silver, and I never could use this card for anything other than, anti zombie Austin, and
Right.
that was it. It was the
That was your
only thing I could
purpose.
ever do with this card. And at the time when I was playing and my understanding of the game, I kind of resented it. I was like, I don't want to build one card just to stop another card. Um,
Yeah.
During this time of playing, I was also taking 30 minutes for every feud that I was running,
For one
and I
match.
only one out of every 3 showdown matches.
Right.
So take all of that with a grain of salt. Now that I understand it, I'm like, oh, I should have taken him to wherever Max was back then. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the only Xbox I remember anybody like bringing any sort of fuss about is 6.
Okay. Well, so if X-Pac doesn't count, do you have a replacement in mind? We're gonna get to
Yes, I
the.
do.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Crick Solo Sokoa.
Trickster
When he,
Solo Sokoa. Okay. All right.
the
So
Bloodline.
new number 6 instead of X-Pac is new Bloodline Solo. Or I'm sorry, not new Bloodline, but the Trickster version.
Yeah, everybody knew that Showboat version was pretty iffy coming out, but
Yeah.
Trickster Solo Sokoa, I had it in my head that this dude could just roll and absolutely just steamroll everything that was in front of it. And it took me a long time to get this card. I didn't get it until relatively recently, so I was
Yeah.
always like, man, I kind of wish I had Solo Sokoa. Um, Now that I have him, I have used him once for a
Yep.
CSS, and that's
Yep.
it.
Because I had
Uh,
to.
and
Yep.
and even then, I'm looking at the move set that I used, and I'm like, yeah, that's not cool at all. This kind of is rough. I think another one was there was one boss battle way back in the day that was really tough for a lot of factions, and the answer was might have been Solo Sokoa, might have been Umaga. I think it was Solo Sokoa though, and you had to have a drip plate. You had to have
Yep.
2 of
You
those things, and
had
you
to
could
have the
turn
drip
one this
plate.
particular boss.
Yeah.
And I didn't have either one of them, and nobody in the faction did either, really. So we just struggled through this
Yeah.
boss battle. So the back of my head, I was like, Solo Sokoa is the one. Got to get that one.
Yep.
And yeah, turns out that you didn't have to have that one.
Yeah, I didn't get him to way late either. That was so I remember when he came out because I was camping, not Grant camping. I was just camping. Like the one time we've gone out to where I couldn't play the game, so I gave Rusty control of my account for that weekend and was like, "Dude, I have never missed a like since I started this game, I've never missed a day in the game. Can you do this weekend for me?" And he's like, "Okay, but on one consideration, when I do my pulls, you have to make sure I get solo." Like he was just joking, obviously, but like he wanted solo so bad because he just thought he was just so phenomenal. And yeah, then when we power rated him super low. Two Bob, that was when Two Bob did the like, Two Bob disagrees video,
Right.
and like redid it, and we made that the official video then because it was like, yeah, Two Bob's right. It just took things that again we didn't have, but we also like I had a rule on our channel we did not use the drip plate because the drip plate didn't exist. Like nobody had one except for all the people who had one, right? So, all right, I will take that. So number 6 then is gonna be Trickster Solo. So my number five is actually a shot across the bow here because we talked about this, but apparently nobody could hear your audio, so we scrapped an entire 25-minute video because nobody knew I was actually talking to another human being on it. But number 5 for me was Acro Live. There's a little bit of jealousy here, I'll admit, because when Acro Live came out, she was a monster, absolutely worthy of everybody having. But then I heard for so long, you gotta have Liv. You gotta have Liv to be good. By the time I got Acro Liv, so maybe I'm the problem in the overhype here. she had already passed her shelf life. The move damage wasn't there, and like I wanted her to be good, and it just didn't happen. It was just a mess. So for me, live, watch me live is my number 5. What's your thoughts on that one, Slam? Or you want to suggest a different one?
So I think when Acro Live was relevant, she absolutely was relevant. I don't think there's very much overhype there. If you had her, you were really, really enjoying it. I didn't,
Yeah.
but those that did, she was doing work, and I remember hated facing her. In even a tour, I saw Acro Live, and I was like, oh no, I don't know what to do here. I got to figure out some way to drop her turn 1. Otherwise, I'm in a world of hurt.
Oh yeah, she was a pain.
She was a nightmare to face. So I'm not sure about like overhyped. Yeah, so I'll push back on it a little bit. I don't have, um, I don't have a rebuttal to it though, other than, I think she was about right. You know,
Okay. Okay.
because she was good for that small amount of time. Now, if you're pulling Acro Live, yeah, you're not really all that great, and you're just like, oh, cool, I got
Yeah.
Acro Live now, yay! And you use her the same time you use, Trick Carmella, whenever you absolutely have to.
Right.
Other than that, you're probably not using her that much at all.
Yeah.
But when she was standing tall, she stood tall. I'll give her that. Much more so than like, I don't know, like a Tech Bailey. I don't think Tech Bailey was really ever that great.
Okay.
Always thought Tech Ronda was a better option than Tech Bailey at the time, and they were contemporaries of each other.
Yeah. I could say that. Yeah. Bailey was also one that I wanted bad at that time frame and could not get her. And by the time I got her, she was. But I don't remember people talking about Tech Bailey the way I remember them talking about Liv. Like a few people in my faction at the time got Acro Liv, and it was just like nothing. But she is incredible. It's so good, and then like I say, again, maybe I'm the problem by the time I got there. But I promise you, I should have made Andre 5 because I'm even doing the 5 in the video 5 because that's Andre's like, I should have done this differently. It's on me. So number 4 on my list though is one that there was a very specific level of hype attached to this character. Hall of Fame Andre got called the only God tier character in the game by the devs communication team. And when he came out, everybody was like, wait, that's it? Like, what is God tier about? Like, if you had a drip plate at the time, but that was true for several, like, if you had a drip plate, anybody who had black moves was all of a sudden going to be incredible. But do you remember that hype where they like literally said you've got to have this character, he's God tier?
No, but that's crazy to me. That's insane.
Yeah.
The devs actually came out and was like, "Yeah, you have to have this one card, like Hall of Fame
Yeah.
Andre."
It was in the blog, whatever blog it was at the time, was
No.
like the God tier. He's going to be amazing. And that became a meme and a joke then because, now we look back on it and you're like, is Hall of Fame Andre even good? I mean, with a drip, yes, Andre plus drip was phenomenal. But other than that,
So is Drip Coda. So
right?
is uh, anybody who uses black moves. Like
Right.
it's not Hall of Fame Andre that was God tier. The drip plate is God tier, and I still think the drip plate's probably God tier. I still don't have a drip plate. I have never used one. Never. I've never
Oh.
equipped one on my CC account.
So
I
see, you
don't
have a
have one on
CC
my
account
personal
now.
account. I have never used a drip plate, and I probably, unless my hand is forced, I probably won't use it. Just because I have so much angst about that plate and so much pent up jealousy about that plate that I'm just, nah. I have the ability to use it now. I'm not gonna.
Right.
I don't need your stinking drip plate. I've got math on my side.
Math that will solve the world's
Math.
problems. I love it. Yeah, they legitimately for that one blog mentioned him being god tier, and I mean, I haven't seen anybody in the last couple years that I've gone up against in feud have Hall of Fame Andre. Now, of course, we'll probably see some people because somebody will take that challenge up. I mean, he does have like a cross break move. I haven't tried him since you got the cross break plates and everything, but still. I just don't see a world where he was ever god tier. I think you're right. It was the drip plate that made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. No way. I don't know about all that. That's
Yeah. People are asking for an
right.
underrated list as well. We've got one of those coming. There is an underrated list as well as the overrated. So, number three.
Here's a
Oh, go ahead.
sneak peek to the underrated list. Trick Rhea.
That's right. Since we did this whole video that nobody could hear you talking about, and we're like, Trick Rhea is actually really good, and then, boom, boom, boom.
There's your underrated sneak peek. All right, who's next on the list?
I think if you've got somebody in mind, I think I want you to give me one because my number one and number two are actually people that I think are arguably overhyped. My number three, I'm going to admit, and I think I even put in my notes here, I admit this was a personal slight. Like, the way you feel about the drip plate that you just described, I felt about Zombie Steve Austin. He was arguably the god tier card of the game for so long, and I just never had him, and I couldn't get 6, so I couldn't reverse him. So if I saw him in feud, I was just going to lose. That was the only option I had. So again, maybe I think that's just me being petty. So I think I want to strike my number 3 from the record, and I think I need your help here.
Let's take your number 3 and we'll add it to my number 3 because my number 3, let's use it through that one particular lens.
Okay.
Just raw envy.
That's what it is.
Number 3 is raw envy. So in that case, my number 3 would be Powerhouse Kevin Owens. That card's overrated. Okay. You don't need Powerhouse Kevin Owens. He's not, completely broken in every single way to the point where you had to change an entire game mode because he destroyed it. No, not Powerhouse Kevin Owens. He's overrated.
Stepping on my number 2.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Let's go there. So that is my number 2 is Powerhouse Kevin Owens. So it took me forever to get him. I only literally 3 months ago got him. But, you have exactly what you're talking about. Like they literally had to completely change boss battle so that Kevin Owens didn't win every single fight. And just instantly, boom, done. Right?
That's he is the reason that bosses will lay down an entire board of specialty gyms.
Yep.
Not because the specialty gyms are particularly annoying to deal with, but in certain cases they are. No, it was to overwrite the traps because the strategy with Powerhouse Kevin Owens, I don't have him to this day. One of the few months I took off from chasing as a free-to-play player was Kevin Owens month, and I'm still mad at myself. Anyway. The strategy for early boss battles was you just spent an entire 60 seconds with Kevin Owens manipulating the board, laying down traps, and then turn 2 comes around, you wait for somebody to click the naturalize button to drop the shield, and then you just blew everything up with Kevin Owens, and you do 70 million damage, or 70 gajillion damage.
Right.
And the boss battle fight was over.
Yep.
Didn't matter what the boss battle buffs were. Didn't matter about the shield or the this or the that. Nope, doesn't matter. KO is just going to roll right through it. But the fact that I still don't have this KO means he's overrated to me. Kind of like the drip plate. It's just, man, right. he ain't that special. No, he's still that special. No, the fact that he's still being used in Titan mode, like, people didn't talk about him all that much anymore for a long time. And then Titan mode showed up and somebody was like, wait, doesn't Kevin Owens do something broken if you can leave his traps? And it turns out that, yes, he is great in Titan mode as well. Yeah. So
I now have him. I actually got him. That was the video that I got. Like I finally got him, and it was on a key pull or something like that. It was like ridiculous. It was free, whatever it was. It was a. I don't think it was UCC claim, like in terms of like the bonus coin you get. Pretty sure it was like a key pull or a free coin or something like that. And I was like, I got Kevin Owens finally. Now, to those who, so one of the reasons I wanted to include this, Merrick's from the beginning has said Kevin Owens is overrated. And I didn't have a frame of reference. Rusty didn't have a frame of reference. Talk about the vacation stories. I went camping during Solo's event. Rusty was on a cruise during Kevin Owens' event, and he turned his account over to me. And I literally was playing both accounts, and neither account got Kevin Owens because we just couldn't. Like, he was a very hard month to get. That was like, I literally. Speaking of Zombie Austin, it's all coming together now. I used Zombie Austin to do the Austin 316 day, so I know it was in March of whatever year he came out, because I did the Austin 316 tour. Both of our accounts I was using Zombie Austin just for hours because it was like they couldn't win unless you just sat there and stun locked them for 2 hours, and neither of us got Kevin Owens. Now Rusty was the closest. He was like a couple hundred shards short, and then couldn't get him. I didn't get him until literally a couple like months ago, but if Kevin Owens can hit, he hits for the moon. But if you miss, oh my gosh, it is the worst feeling. And the few times I've actually got to use my Kevin Owens, I've done everything. I've got the sheriff's badge on him. I've got everything that you're supposed to have right. And when he misses, oh my gosh, do you feel like, oh crap, like that was just pointless. But when he hits, to the moon, baby, to the moon. So. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think he's worth saying he's overrated at this point. But it's that balance. Like, it's just because he's so inconsistent.
He's an interesting conversation in his own right. As again, I have no frame of reference. I've never used him.
Right.
Not once. I'm still over 1,000 shards away from him. That's how
wow.
That's how unobtainable Kevin Owens is in my game career here. 2 years old and I'm still 1,000 shards away.
Right.
So I don't exactly know how he plays. I've seen some footage and I've heard people talk about it. But he's an interesting conversation as a card, as a fighter, as being consistent. He is not any of those things.
Right.
As a tool in the game to do cool things, he is up there at drip plate level of broken.
Yeah.
Like he's just way overtuned in ways that I don't think the developers really ever thought about. And then when it was released into the world, it was like, uh-oh, we have absolutely messed up. And you can't just yank a card back like completely. Especially since it was a chase. You can't just be like, whoops, no chase this month. You've got to deal with it. And the way they've dealt with it is, I think a lot of how contests and game modes and stuff like that are set up are counter to Kevin Owens Relentless still to this day.
100%.
Which is hilarious. So it's a fine little dichotomy of, he is absolutely broken and overpowered, but like not a lot. You're not going to really fight with him, but like you're going to use him to put up Cesaro style numbers.
Right. Well, so here's the argument, and I know Scopely's people watch some of my videos and things like that, so I'm careful how I say this, but if there is a round of trainers that would happen to be double 4MP again, because I've been arguing they should since the first round came, and there was a purple and yellow that would take that spot because he's got the Argentine neckbreaker and the cannonball that are his trap moves. If those two were to be able to put with one trainer, and now that you've got the trap focus that we had on Zombie Month, where you can add a few extras, if you could throw down, because it's 11 and 7, so you basically have about 18 gems right now. You can add 2, so you're like at 20. But then if you start adding like Zombie Alexa in the mix, and if you use a midline bonus and then used what's his name, Acro Dragon, you start to get where you're like 25 gems on the board, you still have a chance of missing, but then all of those gems are also doing 100%, 200% more damage, and going for he just keeps getting more broken the more things they add. And if you add like a purple Royal Rumble plate, or sorry, not purple, a red Royal Rumble plate on him, then you have that. It's just it's bonkers the things you can still do. So they keep having to nerf certain modes in the game. Or I think about okay, when somebody inevitably uses Kevin Owens, what is this going to do? Oh yeah, it's going to break. So how do we nerf Kevin Owens? Okay, trap gems do no damage, or trap gems are unusable, or red gems are minus 1,000%, or whatever it happens to be. But it's yeah, they're still having to work their way around the Kevin Owens problem in this game, and I think it's hilarious.
It is really funny.
Yeah,
it is. Come on, guys.
Well, that brings us to number 1 on my list, and it's hard for me to say because he is a guy I've had for a while. I have one of his gears, and he definitely deserves to be on the list of top hitting characters in this game. But it's War Games himself, William Regal. The most talked about poster in this game for years on, oh yeah, if you want to just hit infinite damage, just do William Regal and you're good to go. And yet, I have had him on my roster for quite some time with a gear, which by the way gives you MP. So you don't even have to worry about MP trainers. I don't have the second gear, but my goodness. Yes, he can hit insane damage, and yet I rarely, if ever, use William Regal because of how much you need and how clicky and how long it takes to get everything set up. But boy, when I use him, it's like throwing a nuclear weapon at an anthill and watching what happens. It's just insane. So, thoughts on Regal, or do you have a different number 1 that you would say is the most overrated in the game?
I don't think I have a different number 1. I don't. William Regal is actually a really good shout because he is one of those cards that can hit for, obscene levels of damage, but you just got to set it up the right way, and it's not practical in just about anything.
Yeah.
Really, I think Regal and boss battles are about the only time that I ever hear of him being used as an option. And even then, it always comes with a caveat of, oh, by the way, you got to go quick because he's slow.
Yes, he's very slow.
And that's really kind of unfortunate because it is cool to have William Regal around. He is such an interesting character in WWE history, but I hear about Regal all the time. I don't know. I hear about him all the time, but I never see him. Nobody ever uses him, as far as I can tell. He's just an overpowered card in the game that nobody actually bothers to use.
I mean, people did when he came out, absolutely. And when his gears came out, all that, it was like, oh my gosh, he's so good. And then, of course, once Drew, the Piper plate and Drew McIntyre was that sweet spot. When the Piper plate came out and people were like, oh yeah, you put this on Piper, the first person went, have you thought about this on William Regal? And everybody went, oh crap. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, because he procs the plate. Well, initially he only procced it once when the Piper came out. Then when Drew McIntyre came into the picture, I'm pretty sure at that point is when we were like, oh, now you can proc it twice. And so he's doing 1,200% more damage, and he's got multi-gems, and then the gear was oh, and then you don't need other coaches or trainers, and then the other gear is multi-gems up. I mean, legitimately can just destroy worlds. But it is like watching Grandpa try to walk across the living room to get a bar of chocolate before it happens, right? You're just come on, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. And personal experience here, because the way you have to set it up is 2 rows on the bottom, if there is enough or almost any sometimes yellow gems in that 3rd row from the bottom up, it screws you up. Like instead of like just breaking the 2 rows and clearing the whole board, if you're not careful, you get in situations where you either have to divide and conquer and just blow up a few rows, or you accidentally hit like a 5 match, make a wild card, and then things don't go off the way they're supposed to. He can miss because of that. It is a real thing. It's just board luck basically at that point.
Yeah, anything that could be broken by board luck, I think has to sit in the a little bit in the overhyped level, right? Miz kind of sits there too. Uh, Miz is slightly overhyped because he can cascade and ruin everything. And if you can ruin KO is another one. If you can ruin, I just looked at Finn Balor, and he's another one that if you don't have the right board luck, you're done.
Right.
You can hit big numbers with them, but if there's any amount of cascade risk, then you gotta temper your expectations a little bit.
Right. Right. Agreed. Agreed. Well, I didn't think about Miz. I would definitely maybe add him for a future overhyped. Like we hyped up Miz. Like Rusty and I hyped him up a ton when he came out. He was one of the best free posters they'd added, where it was like, oh gosh, this guy's phenomenal. But you're right. Like a lot of people don't use him because of the cascade risk. Just flat out, like I'm just not gonna do it. CM Punk Tech with the double gears and the new snowfall plates, he can hit insane damage. But again, a lot of people are like, yeah, but I'm not going to use him because there's such a cascade risk. So maybe that's a future conversation. I think that puts the bow on this one, unless you got some final thoughts though.
No, I don't think I do. I think that is a pretty decent list. I think hype is something that is weird in the game. Not hype the mechanic, but hype as in just overall general excitement.
Yeah, not that kind
OTC is overhyped because I don't have him.
Right. That's right. Oh.
No, I think it is absolutely one of those things where you look at it, or you look at a content creator video and you're like, oh my goodness, this card is going to be amazing once I get it. And then when you use it, you're like, oh, no, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Like, personally, Zombie Chelsea is on that list for me. I'm not going to sit here and say Zombie Chelsea is overhyped, but man, I watched one too many Merrick's videos and was like, all right,
triple purple.
Zombie Chelsea going all the way up to 6-star gold. Let's go. And then I don't have Merrick's account, so I can't do Merrick's things. So I have a Zombie Chelsea 6-star gold, and I'm like, man, okay, well, that was cool.
Well, you need her for her trainer ability, so there you go.
Number one most overhyped card in the game, Nardo, training ability alone. It's not bad.
That is true. You're cutting out a little bit here too.
Oop, sorry. All right. But that's all I've got.
All right. Well, that's the end of this video. Did we miss somebody? Let us know in the comments section. There's always room for a 7 more list to go from there. Big shout out to Slim Numbers. Thank you for being on this YouTube episode. And be sure and subscribe to both Slim and Champions Chat. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.